I do want to say something.
Did you enjoy homecoming?
I did. It was good.
What'd you do?
You know what happens on 830 Westview Drive stays on 830 Westview Drive.
You can't steal Las Vegas. You can't steal their slogan. But I agree with you.
That's true.
I agree with you.
That's true. How was your homecoming?
Like I said,
What happens on
what happens at 830 Westview Drive and Gloucester Hall? Student loan payment, and now it might be $475. It might not sound a lot.
Right, but
to the average person, but over time,
of course,
it's almost close to about another $1,200 a year that you got to come up with.
Right. Welcome everyone to the very first episode of MBA Unplugged. My name is Charles Winfrey, and I am your host, alongside the GOAT, aka Professor Young. Professor Young, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Did you say NBA Unplugged or MBA Unplugged?
M with an M.
I just want to make sure.
Morehouse Business Association.
I want to make sure we're not giving TNT some competition.
Hey, Charles Barkley and Shaq have nothing on us. They have nothing.
That's true.
They have nothing. So I want to get right into it today. So the 10-year Treasury Yield is currently sitting around 4.9%, and it recently hit 5% last week. So for those of you who don't know what it is, the Treasury Yield is really just an indicator used for the economy. So it is simply a rate at which the government pays back bond holders. People invest in bonds as they are considered a safe investment because they are paid by the U.S. government and the government does not default on payments. So as rates typically rise, mortgage rate and borrowing costs do the same. So Professor Young, knowing that, what impact do these Treasury yields have on the economy, specifically for businesses and humans?
Well, for humans, it's pretty straightforward. Anytime they go to the bank to borrow, it's going to cost them more money in terms of credit cards, auto loans, home loans, lines of credit, personal lines of credit, things of that nature. So it's gonna cost them more now. Also, when you look at the mortgage rates, they're gonna get hit there too, because a lot of people borrow money to buy homes, and then, like I said, in terms of automobiles. In terms of businesses, the businesses is just borrowing money for loans to help maintain their working capital. Yeah. Also lines of credit, because a lot of businesses use credit cards like American Express and those other types of lines of credit to help fund their business or to help finance and manage the ebbs and flows of their cash flow.
So how would you say these high interest rates have an effect on students paying back student loans?
Wow, well, the rates are going to go up.
Right.
So if the rates are going up on it means the payments are going to go up, which means that it might take them a little bit longer now to pay those loans back.
Meaning they would have to pay more per month now because these rates
potentially,
are high?
Absolutely, because the rates are high. Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. So maybe they might be sitting with a $400 mortgage. a student loan rate, a student loan payment, and now it might be $475. It might not sound a lot.
Right, but
to the average person, but over time,
of course,
it's almost close to about another $1,200 a year that you got to come up with.
Right.
So yeah.
So I know we talked about how these interest rates are affecting the housing market. So what increase in interest rates? How does that affect the housing market?
Yeah, I look at the housing market in two ways. One, when we went through the pandemic, housing became, which is considered to most people a utility, something that they need to have and have a shelter and stuff, roof over their head, a necessity, exactly. But in terms of people being in house, it became an investment to a certain degree, and the demand for homes increased. That's number one. So that's the reason why you saw prices go up. But more importantly, if you had a 2.5% mortgage back in, you'll say 2020, 2021. A $200,000 mortgage was running you about $800. Yeah. Now that same mortgage at 8%, it's double. It's double. It's almost $1,500. Yeah. So that eats away. And then you look at terms of increase in terms of pay rates. That's going to eat up the average home, average middle class. It's going to eat up their cash flow, so they can't afford to be in the housing market. Yeah. So it's a double whammy. And then people who have homes are sitting on them. It's like, well, I have a 2.5%. I want to buy a bigger home, but why am I going to jump into a higher rate? Exactly. So it's so many decisions to make, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast, to just kind of unravel all the confusion that's out there and make it as streamlined as possible. And my thing is, so people of color they have more ammunition. So when they go to the table, they're not going to the table at the mercy of someone giving them information. They have the information, in their hands.
So really, when we say we want to inform you guys. So whenever you hear in the news, interest rates are at a 15-year high or rates are going up, that affects you. That is not only affecting government and banks of that nature. So whenever rates go up, houses, they go up as well. Mortgage rates, they go up as well. Now, it is inverse when it comes to the stock market. So when rates go up,
that's right,
you may see your stock portfolio go down. But we'll get into that a whole nother video. But Professor Young, do you have anything else you want to say to the people before we wrap this video up?
I don't know. I don't really. I think we're good.
I think we're good too. But I do want to say something.
Did you enjoy homecoming?
I did. It was good.
What'd you do?
You know what happens on 830 Westview Drive stays on 830 Westview Drive.
You can't steal Las Vegas. You can't steal their slogan. But I agree with you.
That's true.
I agree with you.
That's true. How's your homecoming?
Like I said,
what happens on
what happens to 830 Westview Drive and Gloucester Hall stays at Gloucester Hall.
So, Morehouse College. We will see you guys in the next one. Y'all have a good day. Peace.
Peace, guys.